I believe the Brazilian team is a team. They have like not one player that you have to like look at, not one player, but they have 12 players that are so strong, all 12 of them. And right now they're leading in defense. And what I say defense is blocking and defense. So they have the number 1 blocker, who is Thaisa, and they have the number 3 blocker, who is Fabiana. So their middle blockers are number 1 and number 3. And then we have the number 1 and number 2 defenders, Bright, who is the number 1, and Jacqueline, who's an outside hitter, who's number 3. So they're a team that plays great defense, but they're also known for their offense. So I think Brazil is always a team to watch out for, because obviously they've won the last 2 gold medals now, the last 2 Olympics. So Brazil will always be strong no matter who's on the court. I think they all trust and believe in their coach, because he's one of the top coaches in Brazil and in the world. So I think that if you're all on the same page, if a team is all on the same page, that's a huge benefit for a team. The difference between China and Brazil is China is a great team. Once again, they're also a strong team, but they do have one player that is dominating in like 4 categories. Her name is Ting Zhu. She's number 2, and she is dominating. She's number 3 in scoring, number 6 in spiking, and number 2 in blocking. And so if she's number 2 in blocking, Brazil has the number 1 and number 3 blocker, and then Ting Zhu is number 2 in blocking. So in other words, she's an outside hitter that anything that comes to her, she's gonna block, because she's a good blocker. And then China also has the best setter. She's the 2nd best setter. Her name is Wei. So we'll see. If you have a setter who's number 2, that means she's setting the ball where it needs to go, which is to Ting Zhu, because she's one of the top players right now. First and foremost, it doesn't matter who you play in the finals right now. That means nothing. What means the most is your team, and is your team prepared. Italy is very experienced. They have experienced players, they have young players, but they are playing professionally, and they're always strong. And they have a lot of players this is like their 5th or 6th World Championships. So that's a big thing, that they can carry this team and they can lead this team to another World Championships, to a great finish in the World Championships. For America, right now, I can tell you all they're thinking about is the future. All they're thinking about is this final round here in the World Championships. The past is the past. They don't care that they were undefeated except 1 game. That matters nothing to them, which it shouldn't, because what matters now are this next week. There's 3 players that I would watch out for. The main player would be Alicia Glass. She's the number 1 setter right now. And then you have Kelly Murphy, who's the number 1 spiker right now. So if you think about it, volleyball, usually everyone thinks about who's making the most points. So obviously the setter is giving the ball to the best hitter, and she's the number 1 hitter, and she's the number 1 setter. So I would watch out for Kelly Murphy. But we have also the other outside hitter, Kim Hill. She's number 5 in passing. So passing means a lot. You have to pass to the setter, who's number 1, and the hitter, who's number 1. So I think right now, if I would say what America has, is they can block, but they can do everything, but their main hitter is Kelly Murphy.